Your car is essentially a rolling laboratory that turns toxic fumes into harmless water vapor and carbon dioxide through a chemical reaction, but when the P0426 code pops up, it means the monitor for that whole process has lost its mind on bank 1. Now do not go looking for a literal thermometer stuck in your exhaust, because what the computer is actually talking about here is your upstream O2 sensor, which is designated as sensor 1 on the side of the engine that holds cylinder number 1. This zirconium sensor is supposed to switch rapidly between 0.1 and 0.9 volts, as it measures how much oxygen is left in the exhaust to determine if the mixture is lean or rich. If your catalytic converter is doing its job properly, the downstream sensor should stay steady at around 0.45 volts, but the PiCM also calculates the efficiency based on the temperature behavior of the system. If the sensor is getting sluggish or if the air-fuel mixture is totally out of whack, it triggers this range performance code, and you might notice your gas mileage taking a dive or the engine feeling a little bit flat when you step on the gas. Before you run out and buy an expensive new sensor, you really need to check for exhaust leaks, because even a tiny pinhole in the pipe before the sensor can suck in outside air and trick the computer into thinking the whole system is failing. I like to use a scan tool in graph mode so I can actually see the waveform of the sensor, because if it is not bouncing back and forth quickly, it is a sign that the sensor is poisoned or just plain worn out. You should also verify the continuity of the wiring back to the PiCM, because these wires live in a very high heat environment and can easily become brittle or melt against the manifold. If you test the resistance with your multimeter and find an open circuit, or if the voltage at the PiCM does not match what the sensor is producing, then you might be looking at a bad computer or a simple wiring repair instead of a hardware failure. Keep in mind that engine performance issues like a misfire can also cause this code, so always fix those first before blaming the emission sensors, because a healthy engine is the only way to keep that catalyst working at peak efficiency.